Bill Gregory has come in for Jethro Pugh in the Cowboys front four. He's number 77, probably, for pass rush on 3rd and 9. Duhan. Inside the 20-yard line is Bobby Duhan.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants, their first round selections from 1990 to 1999. Get a little touch and go there. Now remember, George Young took over as the GM of the New York Giants in 1979. His first pick overall was Phil Simms. Quarterback, Phil Simms, Morehead State. Good at Joe Montana, but we took Phil Simms. I'm happy. Anyway, he had some real good in the beginning. You know, he had some real good draft picks. Obviously, one guy, Lawrence Taylor, maybe you heard of him. First round picks, you know. He had Mark Haynes. Terry Kennard was a very good pick. You know, Carl Banks, the last linebacker we ever took in 1984. Going back almost 40 years since we took a linebacker in the first round. Whew. But I mean, so he had some good picks. You know, early on. You know, in the early '80s and all. Then they started kind of getting a little, you know. 1985, we had George Adams, running back. Oh, God. And we had Eric Dorsey. He had a nice little career. He ended with injury. His hip started deteriorating and all. But we drafted him as like a defensive end. He had 7 career sacks from 86 to 92, 93 preseason. He couldn't go on. He had an X-ray done. His one hip was deteriorating, and so he had to give it a career. But 7 career sacks for Eric Dorsey. I mean, then we had Mark Ingram, wide receiver. But I mean, when you drafted in the first round, you know, I mean, I think he had like 50 receptions his first 4 years with the Giants. 58 receptions. I forgot what the number was, but I mean, I mean, you draft a dude in the first round, a wide receiver. You know, I mean, like, yeah, dude. You know, you're in the starting lineup. We'll let you know when you come off the field. All right, you know. I mean, and then we took Eric Moore and Brian Williams, 88 and 89. I mean, nothing super spectacular there. You know, so you know we were due for a good pick, and we got 1990. We got a good one. All right, and it just goes to show you how things have changed. Okay. Draft-wise, all right, 1990 we took Rodney Hampton, first round pick, number 24 out of Georgia. Very good pick. It was about time we got ourselves, right? We got ourselves a winner, okay? He wound up with 6,897 career rushing yards. He had 49 rushing touchdowns. You know, when he was healthy, you know, and we could block and all and everything, you know, he was good. I mean, he also got some yards there, you know, when, you know, we had like Dave Brown as the quarterback, okay? So it just goes to show you, right? So, you know, he was really, really good. He played from 1990 to 1997. Unfortunately, 97, he only played 2 games. In preseason game, there was a game before in preseason against the Jets, his knee locked up, right? And he had to have like surgery done on it. So he only played in 1997. He only played in 2 games. I think it might have been the last 2 games of the season. I think it was he played, and that was it. His career was over. I mean, he had been, you know, he took a lot of hits, you know. So, but you know, he had 5 straight seasons of over 1,000 yards from 1991 to 1995. 1996, I think he had like 800 and something. So he was a little bit short, but 5 years in a row of over 1,000 yards, pretty impressive. So in 1990, we took Rodney Hampton from Georgia. Good pick. Okay, then unfortunately starts going downhill a little bit here, right? 1991, we took a fullback. Oh yeah, fullback, Jared Bunch. First round, number 27 from Michigan. From 1982 to 1995, 14 drafts. 82 to 95, 14 drafts. We took 3 running backs in the first round from Michigan. Woolfolk, Wheatley, and Jared Bunch. 3 running backs from Michigan in the first round. Just goes to show you how times have changed. All right. Now, the Giants also, from 1982 to 1995, right? Not only did we take 3 running backs from Michigan in the first round, but we took 1982, we took Butch Woolfolk in the first round from Michigan. Thankfully, because he didn't turn out too well, we took Joe Morris in the second round. We took back-to-back running backs. When the hell is that at? I mean, that just goes to show you times have changed, right? Then 1985, we took George Adams, running back. 1990, we took Rodney Hampton, running back. 1991, we took Jared Bunch, fullback/running back. 1995, we took Tyrone Wheatley. So in 14 years, not only did we take 3 running backs from Michigan in the first round, but we took 5 running backs in the first round in those 14 drafts from 82 to 95. 5. Which goes to show you how times have changed. I mean, people talk about all the time now. It's like you don't need to draft a running back in the first. Saquon's special and all that, but I love Saquon. Hope we keep him forever, but we really didn't need him. I would have took Quentin Nelson, but anyway. But it just goes to show you how times have changed. Now, back then we were taking running backs in the first round. Now it's almost like a taboo. No, But Jared Bunch, 1991, he had 1 start. He had 1 rush for 0 yards. 1992, he had 13 starts. He had 501 yards rushing. 1993, he had a knee injury. He had 128 yards. For career, he had 629 yards rushing for his career. You drafted guy in the first round, and in 1991, the year you draft him, he has 1 start. He gets 0 yards. Are you effing kidding me? You draft them to develop them? I mean, are you effing kidding me? Oh my God. 1992. All right. We took Derek. Oh my God. It just gets worse. We got Derek Brown, a tight end, first round from Notre Dame, pick number 14, a tight end, number 14 overall. He in 3 years with the Giants, he had 11 receptions. 11. For his career, he had 43 career receptions. Somehow, I don't know, 43 career receptions. Somehow he managed to play from 1992 to 1999. The rest of the years he played with Jacksonville, Oakland, and Arizona. But somehow he played from 92 to 99. He had 43 career receptions. I mean, in 3 years with the Giants, he had 11 receptions. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, those are back-to-back picks. Jared Bunch and Derek Brown. I mean, those are our first-round picks. Then we got Dave Brown, okay, in the supplemental pick. So we took our first-round pick from 93 and used it in the supplemental, and we got Dave Brown, all right, a quarterback from Duke. Sounds kind of familiar, huh? Got a quarterback from Duke. He managed to play for 10 years somehow. He was kind of, I guess, pretty much of a backup. He was the Giants starter for a little while there. Okay. He had 6 years with the Giants, and he finished up his last 4 was with the Cardinals, pretty much as a backup with the Cardinals, right? If you had him on your team as a backup, he ain't taking you to the Super Bowl or this, but if you needed him to come in as a backup, could he do? Absolutely. He would have been a nice backup. If you told me Dave Brown's our backup, it's like, all right. That's it. We're not going to probably win a Super Bowl with him or nothing, but I mean, okay, all right, I can see that. That's cool. So we took him in the first round, and he was pretty much a backup quarterback. For the Giants, he had 53 starts. He won 23. He lost 30. He completed 55% of his passes. He in his 6 years with the Giants, he had 8,806 yards passing. He had 40 touchdowns and 49 interceptions. In his 4 years with the Cardinals, his record, he was a backup. He was 3-4. So he was about 50, almost 50% with the as a backup. As I said, I mean, if you had him as your backup, okay, that's cool. But we used our first round pick in 1993 for him. But the saving grace in 1993 is we drafted some dude in the second round, like I think it's Michael Strahan. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Good pick there. And then not only that, but in the 1993, in the 8th round, we got Jesse Armstead. Good, out of the U. Great pick. And Jesse Armstead was there from 93 to 2003. And, of course, Michael Strahan, 1993 to 2007. So those were two real good picks. I mean, we freaking bombed big time on Dave Brown. I mean, Jared Bunch, Derek Brown, Dave Brown. I mean, oh, my God. Then we got 1994, first round pick. Thomas Lewis, wide receiver, first round, number 24. Pick number 24 in the first round, 1995, 94 draft, from Indiana. All right. He played 4 seasons. He started 15 games. He caught 74 passes in his 4 years with the Giants. He was always injured. 1994, he had a knee injury. 1995, he broke his left foot. 1996, he missed like 3 games, I think, with a hamstring injury. 1997, which did him in, he wound up having surgery on his left foot, and that was it. He because after 97, the new GM in 1998, Ernie Accorsi took over. So Thomas Lewis was a George Young guy, and he got injured all the time. I mean, it was just 4 years, with the Giants. I mean, I said he was always injured. He started 15 games. 4 seasons, he started 15 games. I mean, it's like you draft these guys that they don't even make the start line. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, then we took Tyrone Wheatley, the running back from first round, right, from Michigan, pick number 17 in 1995, right? He had a nice 10-year career. I mean, I guess all in all, not a horrible pick. The problem is that he only played 4 seasons with the Giants. Then the next 6 years he played with the Raiders. He had a lot more success with the Raiders. The Raiders used him and got some good use out of him. Because 4 years with the Giants, he had 8 starts. He had 1,280 yards rushing in 4 years with the Giants and 8 touchdowns. 4 years, he had 1,280 yards. 4 years, he had 8 starts. I mean, this is our first round pick. 4 years, 8 starts. I mean, the pick before that, he had 4 years, he had 15 starts. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, I'm not saying that Tyrone certainly was not a horrible pick, But I mean, he started 8 games in 4 years for you. I was like, what are you drafting these people? I mean, we draft our first rounders. We're going to develop them. Let them develop them for 2 or 3 years, and then maybe we'll start them in the 4th year. I mean, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Unbelievable. Then we got, oh my God, the reach of all reaches. Cedric Jones, 1996. Okay, in the first round from Oklahoma. Now, pick number 5. Okay, he played till 2000. He had 5 years with the Giants. He had 15 career sacks. He was a defensive end. Okay, in his 5 years, he had 35 starts. In 5, he averaged 7 starts a season. The thing is that the Giants wanted a defensive end. All right, Arizona picked, I think, number 3. Because I think Ogden was number 4. Yeah. Simeon Rice, Arizona took him at number 3. So the Giants were like, I think the Giants wanted Simeon Rice. So they're like, well, it doesn't matter. We're getting a defensive end. Who's the next defensive end on the, you know what I mean? So, well, let's reach for somebody. And they reached, indeed. They got Cedric Jones. They reached big time, and they lost. He had five seasons. He had 15 career sacks. Pick number 5 overall. His last game was the Super Bowl. We lost to the Ravens 34-7. That was his last game with the Giants, and that was it. I mean, pick number 5. Absolute horrible pick. Ray Lewis was there. We could have took Ray Lewis. I mean, there was Marvin Harrison was there, but anyway. But horrible reach, horrible pick, absolutely horrible pick. All right, then in 1997, this was would have been George Young's last pick. All right, he very good. This was a good one. Okay, this is like between Rodney Hampton and Ike Hilliard, 1997. All right, first round pick, number 7 overall from Florida, wide receiver. This was a good pick. All right, he had a 12-year career. 8 seasons with the Giants. Final 4 seasons were with the Bucks. He had some injuries. The one thing, the dude had no regard for his body. I mean, whatever it took. If it took to dive, if it took to this, it took to whatever. He had no regard for his body. Hence, he was not a big guy. Hence, he had some injuries. Okay, but he was a good wide receiver. I mean, pick number 7, you'd like a little more production, but overall, he had 546 career catches for 6,397 yards. He had 35 receiving touchdowns. So, all in all, not a super horrible pick, as I said, but for number 7, you would maybe like a little more production from him, but, he would have had more production if he wasn't hurt all the time, I said, but, that's one thing I always remember about him. He had no regard for his body. Yeah. It was kind of like, do what you do and then worry about the consequences later. Die for it or this or that. You know what I mean? So, but he wound up being a good pick. Okay. The other nice thing about that draft, 1997, is that in the second round we got Tiki Barber. Good pick there. So I mean, it was a lot like that in the 90s. The first rounders were like, but we got guys in the later rounds that helped the Giants big time. In 1997, getting Tiki Barber in the second round was huge. Then Ernie, of course, he took over in 1998. Okay, his first pick was Sean Williams, pick number 24. He was a defensive back from UCLA. He played from 1998 to 2005 with the Giants, and finished his career up in 2006 with Carolina. He had 15 career interceptions, right? Picked him in the first round, all right, and it was kind of almost just like the same thing, right? Picked him in the first round. In his first 2 seasons, right, he had 0 starts. I mean, he was nice, but I mean, once again, for a first rounder, you'd like a little more production. As I said, his first 2 seasons, he didn't have a start. It's like, we're going to draft him. We're going to, maybe in his 3rd or 4th year, maybe he'll crack the start lineup. I mean, it just goes to show you how things have changed. Now it's like if you draft somebody in the first round and they're not a starter, you did something wrong. I mean, a lot of guys right now, first round and second rounder, you want those guys starting. Third rounders should be starters or big time contributors. I mean, it just goes to show you how things have changed. Then finally, 1999, our last pick in the 90s, all right, took Luke Pettigrew, all right, the first round from Notre Dame, all right, pick number 19 overall. Giants used him at 3 different positions. His first year, he was a left guard. Then his final seasons, he was the tackle. We used him at left tackle, and we used him at right tackle, too. He played 9 seasons. All right, he played 8 seasons with the Giants from 1999 to 2006, and he finished up his career in 2007 with Tampa Bay. And I was funny about that is because the Giants in 2007 went on the road in the playoffs and beat Tampa Bay. Shame if he stayed one more season, because he was on the team in 2000 when we got killed in the Super Bowl by the Ravens. If he played one more season with the Giants, 2007, he would have got himself some jewelry. But it is what it is. But I mean, Luke Pettigrew, I mean, you know, all in all, I guess I can't really argue too much with the pick. He did good, you know. So pick number 19, you know, once again, I mean, you know, was he an All-Pro or this or that? No, but I mean, he was a good pick. All right. Then also in that draft too, in 1999 draft, the Giants drafted in the third round, pick number 79. They took a tight end by the name of Dan Campbell, who is now the coach of the Detroit Lions. So that wraps it up for the 90s. We start getting a little bit better. Going into the 2000s, we start getting a little bit better. But you can just see, I mean, we had some horrible picks. George Young, I mean, you know, he's from 85, all right, to his last pick in like 97, I think, you know, like 13 drafts there. He had like maybe 3 good picks. He had like Ike Hilliard. He had Rodney Hampton. Okay. You know, I mean, he had a couple good picks. That was pretty much about it. You know, so he was, you know, he started off okay in the early 80s, but as time wore on, some of his picks were really, really bad. But now that we're out of the 90s, and tomorrow I'll wrap up this series, we'll go into the 2000s, and you'll start seeing where we start getting some better picks in the first round. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there, and go Giants!